Hi, this is David A. Kelly, the author of the Ballpark Mystery books. I'm here today to tell you a little bit about some of the books I've written. The first series I wrote was actually called the Ballpark Mysteries, and these are mysteries set in Major League Baseball stadiums, and the two main characters are Kate and Mike. They go to a baseball stadium to see a game or take a tour, and then they encounter a mystery. The first book is called The Fenway Foul Up. In this book, they go to Boston's Fenway Park to see the Boston Red Sox play. They're watching batting practice. And during batting practice, they're watching the Red Sox star hitter, Big D, hit a whole lot of home runs. But then at the end of the first chapter, Big D's lucky bat gets stolen, and Mike and Kate have to figure out what happened to the missing bat. Hopefully before the end of the game, so that Big D can hit a home run and win the game. The Ballpark Mysteries, there are 20 books in the series, and you can read the books in any order. Here is a very quick overview of the series. You can see that there are a lot of books, and you can read those books in any order. The most recent book is called The Colorado Curveball. It takes place in Denver, Colorado at the Colorado Rockies Stadium, and it's a really fun mystery. You can see on the cover, Mike and Kate are there. It's actually opening day, but the Colorado Rockies Stadium has just undergone a snowstorm. So there's a delay of game by a couple of hours, and Mike and Kate are taking advantage of that by playing a little bit of snow baseball. But there's some cool things happening in this book. There's a mystery involving the baseballs, because the baseballs at the Colorado Rockies Stadium are very special. You'll have to read the book to find out. And there's also a couple of dinosaurs, because there's a lot of dinosaur fossils and remains and tracks in the Denver area. So I was able to incorporate that into this mystery. But again, there are a whole bunch of other Ballpark Mystery books, and you can read them in any order. And there are also 4 super specials. So the super specials in the Ballpark Mystery series are actually longer books. There's more mystery in them. And the first of them is called The World Series Curse. And this takes place in both Boston and Chicago. It's a World Series between the Boston Red Sox and the Chicago Cubs. Somebody is trying to mess up the Chicago Cubs and prevent them from winning the World Series. So this is kind of a fun mystery. The next super special is actually called Christmas in Cooperstown. This takes place at the National Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York. And Cooperstown is actually where my characters live. Mike and Kate live in Cooperstown, and they're there over Christmas break, holiday break, and they're having a sleepover at the Hall of Fame. How cool would that be to be able to have a sleepover in the Hall of Fame? And during the sleepover, somebody steals a really important baseball card, the Honus Wagner card that's worth like millions of dollars, and Mike and Kate have to figure out what happened to it. The third super special is called the Subway Series Surprise. This takes place in New York City, and it's a book series between the New York Mets and the New York Yankees, and includes some cool New York City sights. So this was a lot of fun to write about, and I hope you enjoy it. And the last super special is called the World Series Kids. So this book takes place at the Little League World Series in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Mike and Kate are actually not playing in the World Series, but they're watching the team from Cooperstown compete in it, and some strange things are happening. So Mike and Kate have to figure out what's going on with the team from Cooperstown. So that's a quick overview of the Ballpark Mysteries. Again, there are 16 different teams that are featured in the book so far, and there are 20 books altogether, including those 4 super specials. Now, I've also written another series of books called the MVP, or Most Valuable Players. These books are mystery books as well. So if you like the Ballpark Mysteries, you'll probably like the MVP books, but they're basically mysteries set with other sports. So the first book here is called The Gold Medal Mess, and this is a school Olympics. So there's 5 characters. They're in a club called the MVP Club, and their school is having an Olympics activity, but somebody is messing up all the events. Like there's a running race, and someone has put oil all over the grass, so everybody slips and falls, and the members of the MVP Club have to figure out what's happening. The next book in the series is called The Soccer Surprise, and there's a big girls soccer game happening, but something strange is happening next to the soccer field. So again, the MVP Club has to figure out what they can do about that. The third book in the MVP series is called The Football Fumble. There's a big football game. The MVP kids are on a team and they're competing against another school, but there's a bully on that team. So they have to figure out how to deal with that bully and how to win the football game. And the last book in the MVP series is called The Basketball Blowout. So this book is a lot of fun. They're trying to go on a basketball tournament, but to do that, they have to raise money. And they're raising money by selling popcorn. But the popcorn sales aren't going so well. So the MVP kids have to figure out how to raise the money, sell the popcorn, and be successful at their basketball tournament. So that's a quick overview of my second series, the MVP. And I've also written a couple of nonfiction books. And you probably know that nonfiction means true stories. And the first nonfiction book I wrote was this one. It's called Babe Ruth and the Baseball Curse. It tells the true story of a very famous baseball player by the name of Babe Ruth. He played about 100 years ago. He was famous for hitting a lot of home runs. And he started off playing for the Boston Red Sox. And when he was on the Red Sox, he was a pitcher, a really great pitcher. And after about 3 years, they traded Babe Ruth to another team. They traded him to the New York Yankees. And at that time, the Yankees were actually a terrible team. They had won no World Series, and the Red Sox had actually won 5 of the first 15 World Series. But after the Yankees got Babe Ruth, they started winning a lot of World Series, and the Red Sox couldn't win any. In fact, they had a lot of bad luck for a very long time. Some people said they were cursed because they traded away one of the best players of all time to their arch rivals, the New York Yankees. This book tells the story of Babe Ruth, how he became a baseball player, what he did in Boston, and what happened after he was traded to the New York Yankees. Now, the other nonfiction book that I've written is a picture book called Miracle Mud. And this book is kind of cool. It's got some nice baseball pictures in it. I'll show them to you. So there you go. And it tells the story of this stuff. Lena Blackburn baseball rubbing mud. So inside this tub is some nice brown mud. And the mud is actually rubbed on every Major League Baseball. So if you've ever seen a baseball game, Red Sox or Yankees or San Francisco Giants or anybody, before every game, somebody on the clubhouse staff has to rub 75 or 80 baseballs with this special mud, because it takes the shine or the gloss off the baseball. And the mud still comes from a secret place in New Jersey. Nobody knows where it is except the mud farmer who goes out every year, collects the mud, and sells it to the major league teams. So it's kind of a weird story that not a lot of people know about. And I was able to research it and turn it into a picture book. And it's a lot of fun to read and learn more about it. So that's a quick overview of the books that I've written. I'm actually working on more. There'll be more Ballpark Mysteries over the next couple of years and possibly some other books. If you'd like to learn more about any of these books or about myself, just visit my website right down here, davidakellybooks.com. You can learn more about the books. You can buy a personalized autographed book. And there's also some cool backup material, some missing chapters, and activity guides. So thank you very much for joining me. Keep reading, and we'll see you on the baseball field.